Hello and welcome. Now in this video guys we are gonna take another type of animation that will be slightly different from what we took previously. Okay, so as you can see guys, I have designed this simple and very easy layout that you can design in a minute. Okay, I just designed behind the scenes to save your time. Okay, so as you can see we have an image view here with an ID and image underscore fade, and we have this width and height, so on and so forth. Okay, and we have two buttons. The first one is for the fade, okay, and the idea of it to be fade underscore btn, and the same thing for the second one would be scale underscore btn, and we have this properties that I changed previously. So our point here guys is to make this application so once the user click on the scale, this image is scaling, okay, or changing the size of our image. Okay, and for the fade you are gonna apply a fade animation. Okay, I hope you get the idea. So what we are gonna do guys, we are gonna take a look on another type of animation that will be slightly different. Okay, so the first thing that we are gonna do inside the res, here the res folder, right click on it and choose a new. Now choose the Android resource directory. Okay, click on it because we are gonna call one of the default folder that come with Android Studio, and Android Studio will recognize it by its name. Okay, so here from the resource type, click on this drop down and choose the first one is ANIM, which stands for animation. Okay, and click on it. Now Android Studio will create this animation folder for us, and when I say animation, then I mean this ANIM. This is the okay. Then right click on it, create a new animation resource file. We are going to create our own animation file. I'm going to call it scale. Okay, scale. Okay, hit OK, and of course we are going to change some of the properties here. The first thing that we are going to do guys, I'm going to give you some steps that we are going to do. Now here for the scaling, okay, essentially we are going to change the size, and to change the size of any view we are going to play around with the X and Y axis. Okay, because to control the size we need to play around with these axes, the X and Y, and to do this I'm going to create a new tag called scale. Okay, this is the tag that come with Android Studio. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close it also, and here inside of it we are gonna add all our properties. So we are gonna add for maybe 6 or 7 property to make this scaling animation, and the first one will be the Android duration. Okay, so I need to type Android : duration. Okay, duration. Okay, hoping I'm spelling right. I'm gonna add it to be 2 seconds. Okay, that means 2000 milliseconds. That means 2 seconds. And the second one that I'm gonna do guys, I'm gonna specify from X scale. Okay, and we need to specify a value between 1 and 0. Okay, and the 0, that means it's completely invisible or completely small, we cannot see it. Okay, from the x-axis. Okay, so I'm gonna type 0.0. okay, that means 0, this value, and to X scale to be 1.0, that means completely visible or completely big on its original size. Okay, so what I said by these two lines, I said, hey, go from the X scale from 0 to 1, that means from completely invisible to completely visible. Okay, and in time of 2 seconds. Okay, and of course we are not done yet because we need to do the same thing with the Y axis. Okay, from Y to be 0.0 and to Y scale to be 1.0, and of course this will do the job from the X and Y. And to do everything correctly, I'm gonna specify the Android pivot Y and X to be 50%. Okay, simple as that, and of course we are done. So as you can see, it's not that complicated. The first one is for the duration, that's mean the time of animation, and the second one will be for the scaling, okay, changing the x and y axis from 0, that means completely invisible, to 1 to be completely visible in a matter of 2 seconds. Okay, now of course we need to do now we have created our animation file, and we have added all the animation here, or sorry, all the views. Now we need to control all this animation in our Kotlin file. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to fetch all the views that we have. Okay, so I'm going to create val or val, whatever you want. I'm going to fetch the image view. Okay, name it image view. I'm going to assign to find the view by ID method that we have learned about previously. Find the view by ID. I'm going to cast it as an image view. Probably you understand what I'm typing, so that's why I'm typing it very quickly. r.id.image_fade, which is the ID of our image. And of course we need to create 2 more buttons. The first one will be for the fade underscore btn. It's equal to find the view by ID. I'm gonna cast it as a button, r.id.fade button, and I'm gonna duplicate this line for the time saving. Okay, I'm gonna change the name to be scale, okay, underscore btn, and the ID should be scale. Okay, and everything is set up. So as you can see, we have fetched all the views in our Kotlin file. Now what we are gonna do, we are gonna set an on-click listener for the scale button. Okay, because once the user is click on the scale, we are gonna apply our animation. So I'm gonna type scale dot set on click listener, and here we are gonna create all our code. Now to create or to call this file, the animation file, okay, on a view, we are gonna do something. We are gonna use the animation utils, and the animation utils class is one of the class that come with Android Studio, and it's help us to load an animation, okay, to load certain animation on a view. Okay, and the syntax goes like this. So I'm gonna create a variable. I'm gonna call it animation. Okay, it's equal to the animation utils class, animation utils dot load animation, this function that will help us to load an animation. And this method take 2 parameters. The first one is the context, and essentially we can get it by typing this or at the name of our activity, in this case our main activity. And the second one is the resource file, which lives the r.animation.scale. Okay, you can access like this. And last but not least, we need to get the view that we want to set the animation on, in this case our image view dot start animation. Okay, and we want to give it the animation file or the animation object, in this case our animation. Okay, right here. So everything is set up correctly. What we did, we fetched all the views, we set it an on-click listener on our button, we have created an animation utils class. Okay, and we to load this animation file, and we set it on this image view. Simple as that. Now our time here to run our application, and let's see how it's gonna work. Now guys, we have our application up and running, and we have the same layout that we have designed previously or in our application, and you have the 2 buttons. And what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna click on the scale, and we should see the animation. So as you can see, guys, it's very nice, and we have the same the animation. And now I am the idea, it's very clear for you. I think you understand what I mean by from completely small to completely big. Okay, so this is the animation that I was talking about. Okay, and now guys, what we need to do, we need to create another type of animation that will be for fading. Okay, and to do that, we need in the same folder, okay, here the animation folder, right click, choose a new animation resource file. I'm gonna call it, let's call it, for example, how about fade. Okay, and click OK. So for the fade, actually we need to specify not the scale, but we are gonna work with the alpha. Now the reason behind this is the alpha, it's the property that help us to make a view, certain view invisible and visible. Okay, and the value for the alpha we can specify it from the 0 to 1. Okay, and the value of 0 will be invisible. Okay, and the value 1 will be completely visible. Okay, and to do this inside this set tag, what we are going to do, we are going to create the alpha tag. Okay, and inside this alpha tag, what we are going to do, let me close it first. And here what we are going to do, we are going to specify 3 properties. The first one will be from alpha. That means the first value will be 1.0. Okay, that means completely visible, and to alpha to be 0.0. Okay, and we do not want it like this because we want to add some animation. That's why we are going to specify the Android duration. Okay, that means the time for the animation. Okay, duration like this, and let's set it to be 2 seconds. Okay, and we are in a great place. Now going back to our main activity, here we have the fade button. I'm gonna type fade btn dot set on click listener, and I'm just gonna copy this line, 2 lines of code. I'm gonna paste them here, and instead of loading the scale, I'm gonna load the fade. Okay, simple as that. And let's run our application on a real Android device, and hope you guys see the same result that we have. Okay, now guys, we have our application, and let's start testing it. So here we have the fade button. If you click it, so as you can see how it's look like. Okay, let's go all the way invisible to be then visible with 2 seconds. Okay, and we have the scale also. Okay, so that was our second or other types of animation that we can work with on Android. Of course there are more and more, but I'm gonna take just 2, and you get the idea. Okay, now at least you can read the code. If you get it from online, that mean you can read it now. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. We are gonna continue with more and more features in the next few videos.